We got sound.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rekakodash.
Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers in this work that truth and sincerely risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The will be judges, the 144,000, the tabernacle of David, ordained to be the ruling class people, the ruling class government here on earth in these last days. Right? Ordained by who the world fraudulently and falsely calls JC. His name is Yahushai, always was, always will be. Right? They primarily make up the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, and the rest of the scattered elect that were scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled birds, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations. Right? That's biblical. This is not a black only thing. Right? And to the few wakwaf, some brothers say the 2 or 3 dismissal. Right? But to the few wakwaf that are listening and learning, to them we say shalom. And we had a couple videos that popped up about Edomite supremacy and how it's on the move here in America. And I noticed that they never really called any of them right-wing extremists, right? Or racist. And even though these guys, these different organizations, they got so many names, but a lot of these white superiority groups have actually participated in acts of terror against police, acts of terror against people of color, acts of terror here in America, where the Hebrew Israelites have. As a matter of fact, I don't even know of any Fruit of Islam, any Muslims, any American Muslims, so Israelite Muslims, that have in this country either, and then even when it comes to the Muslim nations, usually their infractions are what's the word I'm looking for? Are reactions. Usually their things are reactions to something that was done to them. Retaliatory. Like, because I ain't gonna even sit up in front, Ishmaelite. I was on my little land with my sheep and my goats, and y'all came in and burned up my farm and beat my dog to death with a stick, shot my brother and raped my mother and threw me in an eternity camp. I would the first chance want to get back at you too. I mean, this is the sort of thing that certain groups of Edomites were doing to them. Just saying. All right. So can you really? That's the thing that a lot of people, a lot of things that so-called white people refer to as hate are really retaliatory actions against the evils that they've done, and they don't want to ever acknowledge that.
And they never do, have any type of, retaliation. And you're the you're the all this bad guys, hate group, cults, and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous.
You're the instigator.
I got one real quick. This is James 5 and 6. He have condemned and killed the just, and he does not resist you. So yeah, we haven't resisted you, man. Jake will march. Jake will march until the fucking until their feet fall out.
What was the name of that? I can't remember the name of the video that we put. Somebody send it to this guy.
Yeah. So hey, look, man. Jake hasn't been resisting you. That's what they say when they kill you. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Yeah. Fruitville Station.
Yeah. Well, I find it, it's strange that when you twisted a person's arm, so when you got them down in the Kimura or Americana with their shoulders in pain, and you got all your weight on it, and you're punching them in the face, and it's not that they're resisting, they're just trying to do the natural thing, which is cover up your head, protect your, wherever you're getting hit, you tend to want to cover it up. That's a natural reaction. So, maybe if you want to punch someone, they would just give you their arms to put the handcuffs on. But you want to, you want to start putting their hands behind their back and start hitting them in the ribs, hitting them in the side of the head, right? Which makes them want to pull their arm to protect themselves, which is a natural human reaction. These people really are the devil.
Yeah, respond to this idiot something. X9 1989 talking about not all white people are bad.
Well, not all white people are Edomites.
Well, there you go. And so that's what it comes down to. I'm glad you said that. See, you weren't listening to the opening statement. Our people are scattered among all people, including, unfortunately, among people who look like white people. And so typically, any white person who is not bad is because they're really not white. Right? And secondly, there's no such thing as white people. That's a made-up social construct. And that's something that these idiots, white supremacist groups, they're fighting for something that's made up. You're not white. You're red. You're the Edomites. Okay? You're fighting for a make-believe. There is no one who looks like milk. Like that idiot Tidwell. What's his name again? Rich Tidwell? Trying to read. Somebody get that scripture. They're white.
White and red.
Yeah. When it's talking, white is talking about purity, meaning being innocent, being good, being wholesome. It had nothing to do with skin color. All right? Nothing. And then ruddy is never, and you notice that Esau was never referred to as ruddy. David was. David was an Israelite. Throughout the Bible, the Israelites are referred to as bronze and copper color, like dirt, dark, cold. But all of a sudden, ruddy just gonna discount all those. Matter of fact, Linus, what you got, Mike?
No, somebody get the Zombie Bible Dictionary.
Okay.
Can I read this?
No,
This is William Solomon. Beloved, my beloved. Now it says, my beloved is white and ruddy, the chiefest among 10,000. And we know that that's not talking because.
And then he said that as he was teaching this to his Edomites. All right, he said that, and then he showed a picture of a cup of milk being poured. It had nothing to do with skin color. You dummy.
In the same song, he says, I'm black and comely.
Right.
I'm black and comely. Look, he's talking about his appearance when he says that. I look good and I'm black. That's basically what he said. I'm black and sexy.
And they put the color black there,
It's really
you
dark
understand.
skin.
He's really is referred to dark skin.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We've broken. Bob, shall read it, brother.
Ruddy for the Zombie Combat Bible Dictionary. We've actually get the oldest version, right? Ruddy.
You gotta speak up as that fan, bro.
Right, Ruddy in the Zombie Combat Bible Dictionary, and we'll advise you to get the oldest edition. Right, page 510. Ruddy, a word is referring to a red or fair complexion. Now that's not true. Ruddy means like a brownish color.
It actually means brownish red, copper. Okay, chestnut.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
In contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrew.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you did, brother. Yeah, you need to stop watching those other camps and only watch us. Real talk. Okay, because of those other Israelites are going to teach you all kind of madness. As a matter of fact, they're not going to teach you that our people are even scattered among them. They're not going to teach you and it's a fact. All right. The brothers love to use that one basketball player, the Haitian guy, Blake Griffin. When you look at Blake Griffin, and you look at Blake Griffin's father, okay, and from Blake Griffin's father, who's very chocolate, like dark chocolate, all right, Swarty is black chocolate.
He say he's not, brother.
Okay, it's okay. But when you look at Blake Griffin's father, then you look at Blake, and then you look at Blake's children. Blake's children, if you never saw their grandfather, you would just think they're little white children. It's as simple as that. And I often use my client's daughter, London, for the same thing. If you see little London, you think you're just looking at some little cute white girl. All right? But her daddy a whole nigga. The worst kind of nigga too. Thank God for a mom. But there it is though, man. But if you looked at this child, if she walked past you, brothers be like, clang. They would. She just looks like this wholesome little white girl. But you wait till you see the girl break out, start dancing, and doing anything physical. You can clearly see it.
Hey, if I may say, Elder, this is a huge attempt for Esau to hide himself. behind all that.
There's no
Make
Because,
us think like this.
because like from the beginning of the time, if you ever watched this movie called the 13th Warrior, right?
Yeah.
With Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
Then he asked him what's his name. He said Evan Fadlan, Evan Rashid, Evan, which is broken Hebrew, Abba, or no, not Evan, Evan, and there's in up, right? Evan, son of. That's how you determine your lineage. Your lineage is not determined by how you look or who your mother is. Lineage, the word linear itself means line. Because when you watch that movie, 13th Warrior, they had a saying. He says, "Lo, I see the line of my fathers.
Yep.
Lo, I see the line of my fathers."
Yeah. It'd be right before they went into
Yep.
battle.
Yeah,
They would
Wow.
chant that.
yeah, they would chant that. Yeah.
But when you go into the scriptures, when you go into the genealogy and the nations, you go into them. You go into he got him, he got this.
Exactly.
He had so many daughters. He had this many sons.
Men begot children.
They're saying,
Women
brought
give
forth.
birth to women. I mean, to women give birth to children. Right. Men begot children. Beget children. Right.
Another point too, you can't go off of is because two dark-skinned people lay together because your forefathers that you come from. That's why when you go to the artificial pyramids of Pharaoh holding up the Israelites, they was all shades of brown, from dark to light. Now, me personally, my father's a brown-skinned man, but my great grandfather, my grandfather looked like Yaakov. But my great grandfather was a very dark-skinned man. But because my grandmother was an Edomite, my great grandmother was an Edomite, all right, which gives you mitochondrial DNA. However the Lord worked, you can pull out a high yellow baby. If my father got dark because of my grandmother. My grandfather and my grandmother, and put a little bit of extra color on my father. And then I come along with my son, you couldn't even tell. He high yellow than a motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Hold that thought, brother. Can you turn that fan off? Just turn it off. So I'm gonna play this video. It's only 3 minutes long, and not even. But we just want to let this play, so we can go into these different initiatives.
White supremacist group with fascist fight clubs in the U.S.
So basically, what they're doing is they form a little MMA clubs and gun shooting clubs, little different pockets of Edomites across the South. And they're linking up together because they're what they're saying, and they're coming from Canada also, because they're preparing for a race war, as they say, which is actually biblical. And if they read the Bible, they would know that they're going to lose horribly. All right?
Mm.
They're going to kill a lot of 2/3, which really don't
It's fine.
matter on this side. But
Fine
they're
by me.
going to lose horribly if they actually read the scriptures. So not only that, most of them are going to fight and kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because with this race war is going to be hidden within the Civil War, and in the Civil War, Edomites are going to be warm with each other. All right, because we always tell you we got two types of Edomites here in America. You got the Edomites that hate Jacob, and then you got the other Edomites that hate Jacob or pretend they love him, but know they need them. All right, to be their workforce, to be their subsidiaries. All right, to do the shit that they don't want to do. So you got them, and usually those ones, and then you got the ones who hate Jake, and then you got a third type actually, the pro-constitutionalist ones, that they want to uphold. So the problem is within white men. They're the problem, and so here we go. Let's let it play now. Looking like they tough. The average Edomite is just best man anyway. Especially them all Edomite fight leagues, Jake go in and knock all of them out. All right?
First fight I had with two white boys, I beat both their ass.
Yeah, well, there it is.
In 4th grade.
This white supremacist group is training with fascist fight clubs in the U.S., growing a global network, preparing for what they say is a race war. The race war is here. meeting with some of the most prominent white nationalist groups in the United States and the founder of the whole movement.
So the white movement migration above everything else.
Through public telegram posts, videos, and images, we track them from Texas to a major gathering in South Carolina. It's very significant that we're seeing Canadians travel across the border. It is getting more and more coordinated by the day. Active clubs are a global movement of white nationalist fight clubs who gather to train in combat sports. They're founded by this guy, Robert Rundo.
Robert
You know, this fun fascism.
Rundo.
Second sons, Jerry.
So there we go. The Second Sons. Somebody look up the Second Sons of Jerry. But all this is being done in vain. Okay? And like we were sitting here telling you, there's no such thing as whiteness. They made that up in 1681. 1681 in Virginia. All right, that was put into law. This new class of you can turn that fan back on. Shalom, beloved. They're all of a sudden this new class of humanity. All of a sudden, white people. White people didn't exist before 1681, right?
Hey, Elder, and it's very funny that they call themselves the second sons because Amalek is above them.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're definitely the second son.
This is so true. All right. What you got, brother?
This second son of Robert Farrell.
I think his name was Robert Rundo. Rundo could be
Robert
Farrell.
Rondo. But yeah, they're a splinter group. Forgot what group.
Second Sons.
Second.
And not only that, they're the Second Sons because they're evil.
Yeah.
All right, because Jacob got picked over him.
Mhm.
Okay, Jacob got beat. Keep that scripture. He could buy Esau, but he chose Jacob.
I got it.
Go ahead, bro.
Second Sons, a Canadian man's only white nationalist group. And here it says it's founded by Jeremy McKenzie,
I saw his name.
a Canadian military veteran and prominent far-right activist. The Second Sons group operates chapters throughout Canada using gyms as meetup spots and to train their fitness via martial arts. The group appears publicly in white masks and sunglasses similar to Patriot Front and has adopted modified version of red ensign as their logo.
So there it is, man. And so they're letting you know what their purpose is. And guess what? You know, the Hebrew Israelites don't do that. You know, well maybe ISU did that. You know, but those are those paid off camps, those 501c3 charter camps. The true prophets of the Lord, they're not on that. The true prophets of the Lord have one job, is to preach the truth. And part of that truth is that Esau, even the so-called white man, is at his end. He's fallen. And there's absolutely nothing he can do about it. Because you are Edom. You are not white. You're the Edomites.
Hey, what's that song with Jerry Maguire? I'm free falling.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that song, but hey, shit's so crappy. So, but that's exactly. But I got that. This second Ezra 3:16, and unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto
Fan to drown it out.
Turn it down.
Yeah,
Turn it
Yeah.
off. Just turn it off. Turn it off. Just kill it.
yeah. This second Ezra 3:16, and unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob thou
just put the arrow.
Yeah.
Close them doors and put the arrow.
And as for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, and put by Esau, and so Jacob became a great multitude. So yeah, you've been, because they was chatting that a few years ago. Jews will not replace us. The Jews will not replace
They
us.
already have.
Yeah.
Your president picked the Jewish community over America.
Mhm.
And the whole cabinet did. Matter of fact, that's the screenshot on this video. It says,
Yeah.
you know, it shares that the polls say that the Israelis are the most hated country in the world right now.
Yeah.
All right, and America's right up there with them, whether you realize it or not. They said that they're shocked that the Israelis are hated more than the North Koreans.
Yeah.
All right. Now, and who has the North Koreans done anything to? They ain't done nothing to nobody.
They mind their business.
All right.
They had Dennis Rodman over there kicking. They treated that nigga like God. Like a God.
Man, I'm telling you.
They had Dennis Rodman.
He left.
You know that what's the president name? Me and Batak was talking about the other day.
Kim Jong-un.
That nigga purchased. He has the largest Hennessy purchase known to mankind. He nigga ain't doing shit but getting drunk.
He ready for us.
He ain't nothing to
He finna
nobody.
come back.
He said, yeah, nigga throw it out.
Yeah, he is. Hey, a lot of them J too. They got a footworking whole group. They do Chicago footwork out there
I
like
know that is some nigga shit getting on the Hennessy.
that.
That is.
Yeah. Hennessy and Chicago footwork. There's a lot of niggas out there.
I have a precept real quick.
Bring it out, brother.
This Isaiah chapter 16, verse 4. And it reads, let my outcast dwell with thee, Moab, be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortioner is at an end, the spoiler ceaseth, the oppressor are consumed out of the land.
Right. So that's covering two things, two subject matters that we were talking about. Right. One being that the Israelites are scattered among all people. The Lord is telling you that He scattered Judah, so-called black people, among this Asian race of people.
Yeah.
All right. Now they've been scattered among them for for what? Right. A couple, 10, 15 generations, right, or longer. So what do you think they look like today? They still gonna look like Shaq.
Yeah.
They still gonna look like Neil Long.
No.
They're not.
Y'all mean King Balak? King Balak, one of the tools he was using to reel Jake in was women and food and liquor.
That's the spirit, because I was gonna say that before Jake actually got scattered, or before like the Moabites and the Ammonites moved far east, or the Ishmaelites, all these people, like we was already amongst these people.
Yeah.
That's why the Lord told us, when you go amongst these people, don't worship their idols. So before us even going to slavery and getting scattered and traveling, we was already around there. Look what niggas do today. The passport bros and all this weird shit. That's what I'm saying. Niggas been doing this shit for thousands of years.
King David's grandmother is a Moabite.
Well, that's the whole reason why Nehemiah, when he whooped them for the Israelites not speaking in the native language,
They was already
He
there.
might, yeah.
And then he sent away. Not only did he send the women away, they sent the women away. They sent the children away too.
Yeah, that's
So the sons went away too. And guess what? Our sons went with their mothers.
Yep.
And they probably put them up.
It ain't a problem.
It's the most definitely, and they did what Jake do.
And more, we got a lot of women that got some ass.
A lot of them.
And among all of them, among the Thais, I've been to Japan, I've been to Thailand, I've been to the Philippines, I've been to Cambodia.
Yeah.
All right, I physically have walked in those lands, and I know what I saw. And a lot of them were darker than a lot of Jakes too.
Yeah.
Okay. And I saw all those Buddhas all over the jungles with them thick lips and them cornrows in their hairs too.
Yeah.
All right, so Jake's presence was there. A lot of people don't understand is that, especially with the way that a lot of the Northern Kingdom look, some had them Asian looks to them, that you got to understand that Samaria, Moab and Ammon was right next to Samaria.
Yeah.
So what was the Northern Kingdom doing? They was popping them Moabite and Ammonite women and those. That's why so many Northern Kingdom have those features. Before they even, they was living next to them for generations, man, dealing with those women.
With the ones who been
Right?
those.
And I've seen some of those Asian women. I've dealt with some of those Asian women, and look, Jake, I'm gonna tell you, man, they nice. All right, and thinking back on it, I should have just stayed with that and not mess with the nigga woman. I wouldn't have had the issues that I had I not.
That's why.
Just saying.
That's what it says. That Ephraim have mixed itself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned.
There it is.
I got a precept. This is Nehemiah 13. I'm gonna start at 22, and I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves, and that they should come and keep the gates to sacrifice the Sabbath day. Remember me, oh my most high power God, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of thy mercy.
In those days also I saw Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, which is the so-called Japanese, and of Moab, which is the so-called Chinese, and their children spoke half in the speech of Ashdod and could not speak in the Jews'
What
language.
scripture is that?
It's Nehemiah 30.
That's Nehemiah.
Yeah.
Well, it tells you all the way, even in Genesis, before we were even called Israelites, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful.
Yeah.
And we went unto them.
Yeah.
That's all the way in Genesis.
Yeah, he was dealing with these other nations, man. Because the
beginning.
trees in the gardens
Yeah.
was talking about other nations. It wasn't talking about actual trees. You know, it was talking about nations. Exactly. The Lord said you can deal with these nations, basically, but don't deal with this nation over here. Basically, in so many words. But according to the language of each people, so they were speaking in all these different languages, but not following our custom, not speaking in the Hebrew.
And that was the thing, because you know when you really read the Bible closely, you can deal with the other women. You just aren't supposed to. You're not supposed to make them wives and all that other stuff, right? You know you're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to adhere to our ways, to our customs, to our language.
Yeah.
You know, if you happen to have children with one of these strange women, those children are supposed to be brought up in our way because those children are our people. Okay, a woman doesn't bring. If a woman is of another nation, all right, and she's joined unto a man that's not of her nation, her children are not half her.
No,
all right, that's a misconception and a total fabrication and a lie which is taught in Western modern society. There's no such thing, all right, as being half this or half that. All right, you're literally you are the seed of your father.
That's right.
Point blank. Period. There's no more talk about it. There's no more discussion. Regardless of what you look like. So if your father is a super dark Levite from Haiti, all right, and he impregnates some super pale redhead from Ireland with freckles, well, that redhead Irish chick might be a Jake herself already. But the point is, your children can come out looking like Blake Griffin, all right, all day long. All right. But and that doesn't, but they're still not half their mom.
No,
it's backwards, brother.
That's why, according to the law, she's supposed to put the raiment of supposed to shave her head, pair her nails when you go to war with her people, and she's supposed to put that off, the raiment of her captivity, whatever she was wearing, whatever culture she was into. She getting her hair shaved, all that clothing is gone, and you finna learn Hebrew.
Right. When you think about Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Okay, Genghis Khan, they said the man had more children than anybody in the history of mankind. All right, because every time he conquered and he did a lot of conquering.
He took some women from them
in Asia, but he impregnated women and his soldiers. He had a group of men within him that was bred to be big and strong, and it was
bred next generation fighters.
Their job was when they conquered to send them in, and their job was just to lay the women. To breed these new. Your job as a soldier is just to go bone bitches.
Why not sign up for that?
Still clashing and swords clashing, spears niggas dying, and then your whole thing is to go to where the women at and just immediately started.
Well, this one Nehemiah.
That was their job.
Well, this one Nehemiah did.
That's a hell of a job.
But yeah, he had a scripture, brother.
This is a quote from Ruth the Moabitess. This is Ruth chapter 1, verse 16. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy power shall be my power. So that's just a point to back up when you're dealing with a woman from another nation. She's supposed to take on our customs, our habits, worship our power.
So we all need a Ruth. Right?
It's old laws on how to deal with the Hebrew woman. Even when you get tired of it, you can just get rid of the Hebrew woman. Scriptures say you can't sell it though because you humble it.
Get the scripture, brother. You said it. Get the scripture.
But this is why Nehemiah did this. This is Nehemiah 13 and 25 now. And I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them,
Slap their
plucked
ass.
out their hair, and made them swear by the Most High power of God, saying, Ye should not give your daughters into their sons, nor take their daughters into your sons, or for yourselves, because they was not keeping what they were supposed to do.
Right, and clearly Jake was being manipulated and following
By
the
the
way.
bitches.
He first said your daughters. All right, because then your daughter's gonna bring forth heathen children.
Care Bear.
All right, right. We got all these tear babies among us, you know. That's what the Hamites were worried about when we were in Egypt.
That's right.
That's why they ordered, you know, all the male children, the newborn male children, to be put to death, but let the female children live.
Hey,
All
real
right.
quick. Oh, Salaki, before you bring it out, going back just to backing up the elder, that was in the story of Moses. But when you go to the story of Yahweh Shai, it was the same thing with
Yep.
Hebron. But when you look into it, Hebron had a black woman.
Yeah.
You know,
They had black women.
Oh,
They had Jake women though.
no. We did further research on that. The lineage of the woman that the Herar, she was
Edomite out?
she was the Edomite.
Okay.
Yeah. So like the brother Mathathi, he's very fucking thorough.
She was Edomite out?
Yeah, she's
I always thought she was.
Because I always thought that too, and the apostles thought that, but when you go to further, it actually shows you where she came from. So yeah, they were Edomite women.
But they did kill all the men.
Yeah.
But the same token, when the Lord was born, the water, but they still killed. They said kill all these men, child.
Yeah, they weren't trying to kill the women, child, and which goes to show you that whole myth, especially, you know, going back to the original topic, this made up thing of whiteness, which doesn't even exist, and they're ready to fight for something that's made up.
Yeah.
You do a little research, dumbass ninjas. The internet is right there. Go look up Dr. Batalore. Go look up Robin DiAngelo. Go look up Theodore Allen. All right, whiteness is made up. There's no such thing.
Worth
So
the
just like you
Google.
made up Caucasian. All right. All right. The same way you made that up. You are the biblical Edomites.
Edomite out.
Okay.
Esau.
As a matter of fact, if you could read that definition of ruddy one more time, right, with the fan not on.
Yeah.
Hand him that Zonica.
That is on page 510.
Okay. That's for Rich Tidwell. Next time I have to, because I actually got to do another video. I gotta respond to that madness. All right. He keep trying.
I'll get it.
You ready? This is ruddy. Word used to refer to a red or fair complexion. Right? Even
Which is not
amongst
even true.
Jake, they call people red, she red bone or red. You know, it's like Jake uses slang.
Red Fox.
Yeah, you don't hear about that amongst the East.
But really, it's like the brother said, chestnut color.
Right.
Brown color. Right. Go ahead.
Because you look up ruddy horse, ruddy dog, ruddy duck, you can get a brown chestnut colored animal.
Yep.
Okay? It's simple. But all of a sudden, for humans, it's a different. Well, it's different ruddy for humans. Shut your ass up.
Right.
All right? Go ahead, brother.
This is a word used to refer to a red or fair complexion in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrew.
Right. In contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews. Somebody get Revelation 4:3 real quick. All right. And then somebody grab just Google ruddy horse, ruddy animal, ruddy duck. Okay, because Esau was described as red. He was not described as ruddy. I got a book called Blacks in Antiquity by I think his name is Snowden, Robert E. Snowden or Snowden. But he has images of a young General Memnon, and it talked and his chocolate bronze, the onyx statue of him. And it talked about Memnon's the ruddiness. What it was talking about was his youth, his brown young look, because Memnon was clearly, and they're showing you his images on the statues and on the vases. All right, on these ancient Greek vases, the man was clearly, he was as dark as Murph. All right, and he was calling, and from here in this room, I can see the red hues in his skin. That's what ruddy is. All right, that brownish red. It's brown with a red tone to it. Okay, that's what you call ruddy. He has it. He has it too. Everybody in this room has it. Capo has it. Okay. You see.
Hey,
Go ahead, bro.
Let me say this real quick. Because the apostles, they do teach what you said, you know what I mean, about the Herodians, you know, married, dealing with the black woman, you know, and so basically that's still, I believe, as far as what I know, that's still what they teach. So I just want to put that out there.
It's a lot history-wise. A lot of Jake women during those times was marrying Roman soldiers too. They was selling out heavy, man, and married those centurions.
Probably, but then again, a lot of soldiers was also Jake.
Yeah,
Right, that too.
So just because they were marrying Roman soldiers, see, people tend to forget. See, that's the Edomite whitewashed Hollywood version of Rome. Rome had their armies were full of Negroes, just like they are today.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Cornelius.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
I'm gonna call them that.
But go ahead, brother.
I have one real quick here.
They want those pictures. Anybody get the pictures of
I got
that?
a picture.
I got this duck.
Yeah,
I got Revelation.
I just would like you to put it before the cameras, just to prove the point.
I got
Before each camera, as you read Revelation 4 and 3.
And it actually says ruddy duck and it's brown.
Right. So we got to kill that Rich Tidwell and the white, you know, and the so-called whiteness thing to try to escape what the scriptures say about the Israelites, what the scriptures say about, you know, Yahweh himself, what the scriptures say about Yahushua, and what the scriptures say about the angels and even some of the other nations. All right? Ruddy, you know, to each camera, brother, get up. You got to go to each camera.
This is Revelation chapter 4, verse 3. And he that sat was to look upon, and he that sat was
Could somebody get it in the NLT too? Let's get in a couple of verses.
and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald.
Right, and this is one of my favorite scriptures on the subject matter, because
Ready done.
I'm holding in my hand, all right, a jasper and a sardine stone.
There
Okay,
you go.
and
There you go.
you know that's what a jasper and a sardine stone looks like, and then it tells you that the Lord was you know that that it also looked he was dark and as if he burned in the furnace.
Yeah, so that's
And
true.
so if you take that, or you mix them, however you cut it, that's how, you know, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans come. Bronze colored, copper colored people. All right? Shoot, that's me right there.
That's you right
Shit. Go ahead, brother. You might have to tap to keep the light on. But that being the point, man, you know? So they're defending a lie. You're meeting in the name of a lie. We're meeting in the name of whiteness. We're gonna learn how to fight in the name of whiteness. And you know, the second son.
They stole that from Game of Thrones.
So you know,
the second son, that was the click on the Game of Thrones.
So well, they hot garbage anyway.
They saw
and the point, and then they gather in the fight, and you know that Jake make the best fighters on the planet.
Message,
y'all. You know you ain't got no niggas and no spiggers in you know in your training camps. Y'all gonna get y'all gonna get mollywopped. All right, and then you show up to any tournaments and you get recognized, you know, Jake ain't gonna show you no mercy, man. All right. Okay, you show up to a tournament, you know, and you've been seen, you know, there ain't no mercy gonna be shown to you. All right. Just letting you know. Okay.
But this is proof. Because you saying you talking about the skin color, it's proved right here in Revelations. I'm gonna start at 1. It's Revelations 1:1, the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach, which the Most High gave into him to show unto his servant things which must surely come to pass, and he sent and sanctified it by his angel unto his servant John. And you about to see the revealing of Yahushua. This is very important.
He's revealing himself.
The skin color is important. So this is verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlestick, one like it to the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Garment like this one.
That's right. And girded above with the pales with a golden girdle.
So he had on a
WWE belt
that looked like you know, that's where they get championship belts for boxing,
right.
you know, MMA or whatever. That's where they get that from today. You see when the guys are going for the belt and they're doing this, all right?
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So he had white woolly hair. Go ahead.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet likened to fine brass.
Right, and some versions say bronze. Bronze and brass look the same. All right, and anything you burn in, then it says it burned in the furnace, right?
It says as if they were burned in a furnace.
So bronze is already brown, but it's saying that he was really chocolate brown. He was
Really
very
brown.
dark. So the Lord was a very dark-skinned man. All right, and that wasn't by accident. Okay, but what did Christianism do, and the whitewashing of Christianism do?
Christendom.
All right, they elevated a false image of the Lord. Okay, they even and so they created whiteness. Everything about Esau is fake, phony, and a lie. They're not even the original inhabitants of Europe. They're not the original aristocrats of that land. Okay, they're the after. Okay, but what you got?
Yeah, this is in the book of Black Jews in Africa and America by Tudor Parfit. And page 4, it says Sir William Brereton, 1604 to 1661, the English parliamentarian, soldier, and writer, having to visit a Sephardic synagogue in Amsterdam, where he commented the Jews were very dark skinned and lavished. They were most black. And,
that's where that saying came from. I remember reading that. Okay, well, go ahead.
And insensibility given unto women in his new voyage to Italy, 1714, Francis Maximilian Mission, the French writer and traveler, confirms that the general superstition was that Jews were black when he noted that all Jews were black, although only Portuguese Jews start off black. He put
and that fits right with a book that I have at home, because in 1860 the Edomite Jewish people began replacing the Sephardic Jews who came here to America. They helped set up the colonies, all the business and stuff. They started replacing them, and and putting their faces up as if they're the people. It all makes perfect sense. All right, but go ahead.
He put in Portuguese also a vulgar error. He wrote that the Jews are all black, for this is the only true of the Portuguese who marry always among one another, beget children like each other. Consequently, the swarthiness of the complexion is entailed upon the whole race, even in the northern region.
And so this also, you know what, and that was from 1600s.
Yes, 1600s, 1700s.
All right, so nevertheless,
yeah,
that also gives credence to, or backs up what Ben Franklin wrote in his letter.
Yep.
Because he said Amsterdam and Spain, and in that letter in paragraph 24, he wrote in it the swarthiness, the tawniness, the blackness of the people of Sweden, the people of Germany, of Spain, Portugal, Italy, some of the places that this guy wrote.
Yep.
So why would all these white men be writing about all these swarthy people in these different parts of Europe that you today pretend like were always white, and that that's a lie. That's a lie. So everything about whiteness is a lie. It's made up. You made it up. You're defending, the second sons are defending a lie. I think I'm gonna change the title to that. All right? The second sons are defending a lie, man. Go ahead.
This is Songs of Solomon 1 and 5.
Yeah, I was told
that's the spirit. It says, I am black but comely, black and beautiful. All right. It said, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Right now, this right here, all right, when you go into it, Esau tried to tell you that it was a woman that wrote this. This was Solomon.
It tells you at the first line that it's Solomon speaking.
Yeah, because AI, even when I was going back and forth with AI, but of course it slipped up. But this
I catch AI in a lie every week.
Yeah,
every week I catch them in a lie. And when you corner them and tell, then they have to changed what they said.
Yeah.
I done screenshotted a couple things when when they got caught lying.
You know, when you go into when I was referring to it, I said he was being poetic. It's called rhyme, you know, because when you go into his daughters, it's referring to the descendants of Jerusalem, right? It said as the tents of Kedar. So he's saying I'm black like this shirt right here. All right.
Yeah, you don't want to see through tent.
Well, that,
Right.
you know,
you don't get right. You don't get no tent.
hence the term. You know, when this was the inspiration behind James Brown's song "I'm Black and I'm Proud." Was this scripture? All right, go ahead.
It says, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. And then this even look not upon me because I am black. Nigga, he clearly said, come on. He said, because the sun has looked upon me. When the sun shines on you, what happens?
You get dark.
Now, what happened when the sun shines on an Edomite?
They get red.
Get red.
They get cancer too. They get die.
They get burnt. And that sun, you know, Esau can't even stand. See,
the Edomite out.
Look, man, y'all are lightweight to even continue with this bullshit fabricated lies.
Yeah, somebody needs to tap Rich Tidwell on the man.
It's like, come on, man.
But here it is. Look, like, so they just read all these scriptures. And one of the arguments that they like to bring up is they'll bring up the fact that, oh, well, the people of the Middle East were olive colored. Well, I got olives right here. And I'm looking at these olives, and it's reminding me of the two stones. The Lord said that he had the appearance of the sardine and the jasper stone. So I'm going to bring this around to the cameras for you to see, because I don't have a big display on the wall for you to see it. So I'm going to bring it around. And I'm looking at olive that's unripe, and that's the green olive. Right. And then I'm looking at a brown olive that's ripe, and then I'm looking at a fully one that's soft. It's completely black. All right. So when they say olive complected, well, we know that they're not talking about the green one.
Ain't nobody walk around looking like.
Ain't nobody walk around looking like some alien. You're right.
Medium.
Right.
Right.
Marvin the Martian.
Like the Hawk that had some sons or something.
Right.
You know, he done shot gamma sperm all over the place.
Don't make
Damn.
You don't like no angry.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Right, they be trying to say the angel.
There you
of the
go,
Lord
got
is
it.
bringing
Yeah.
aliens.
So right.
Wow,
So
man.
then when you come with the olive color, olives come in three colors. When this is before they're ready to eat. All right, and then when they're ready to eat, those are like Negroes. All right, from a light brown to a dark chocolate brown. You can't get around it, man.
And how
You can't make this up. Oh well, he was olive colored. Oh yeah, well here, yeah, these are olives right here. Now what?
Yeah.
Now what you got to
Well,
say?
you know, on the flip side, though, people metaphorically use the colors green and blue to stand for dark brown skin.
But how can you get around this scripture, which they changed in other versions? It's Job 30:30. My skin is black upon me,
Message.
and my bones are burnt with heat.
Look like this to me.
He said, I'm an angry black man. I'm pissed. I'm going through shit.
Call niggas blue black.
So you can't get around that. And when you go into that black right there, it goes back to the Hebrew word kadar, which means dark skin.
Yeah, and just to touch on that too, that blue black that's that mixing with ham. Because Jake is really like red black.
Yeah, kind of.
When I was out,
That's that Hamite, you know.
Purple.
Yeah.
Niggas just say that about Muslims. Like, niggas so fucking black. Blue
Yeah.
black.
No.
Those Sudanese in Iowa, the majority of them is niggas. They walk like niggas. They talk and they look like the Sudanese. They tall, the dark skin, and the majority was really just niggas.
Matter of fact, here's one of those screenshots that I'm talking about, and this really is a touchy subject to Edomites because one thing that they cherish above all things is Viking folklore.
I was watching the last night. I was mad as hell.
So,
when they went to get the Moors.
So here it is. AI assertion says that the hordes of the swarthy Scots or Black Vikings, dubbed, refers to non-fictional dark-skinned people in Scotland, often associated with the Danish or the Moorish invaders of the Dark Ages. All right, it says an assertion, meaning the undeniable, irrefutable, tangible relics in history. All right, you whitewash that history. Just because you keep putting up somebody who's blonde with a long ass braid and stuff. That's just you. That's just you doing it. All right. Clearly the people in Scandinavia, well, they were not like that. Okay. This is telling you. It says evidence, and this is AI was giving you this. Okay. But it was after a long out, struggled out debate, and then I produced and I asked about these relics, and then when it is, he knows. Then they started telling the truth. All right. I said, well, because I'm like, well, wait a minute, you saying this, but these relics are saying a different story. And then they started bringing out relics about particular individuals, right? Because we were talking, we remember we watched that movie, Robert the Bruce, and that one character, Douglas the Black, the dude that played Craven, all right? Douglas the Black. Well, why did they didn't call him Douglas the Black just because they call him Douglas the Black because the nigga looked like Murph. Right? There it is.
Yeah, he kept telling dude to say his name.
That
That was
Right.
Outlaw King.
Right, the Outlaw King. Right.
Yeah.
Our parents from the South, right? When you ever heard a cracker in the South call himself Douglas the Black?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's my name.
Evidence cited regarding the Black Scots and Black Vikings. AI. Evidence cited regarding Black Scots and Black Vikings. Dub Gall, Black Strangers, historic sources such as the Annals of St. David's refer to the ingrate gentes, the Black Gentile strangers who invaded the British Isles, often distinguished from Fingal, white strangers regions. Look, like we told you, your whiteness is all a lie and made up. Vikings weren't white, but yet that's all you do is claim to be. Like I said, there is nothing that it seems to be like no history. Why that they uphold more than this Viking shit?
That's right.
And that wasn't you. It wasn't you. Neither were the Scots. Neither was the Irish. Neither was the Brits. Okay, none of that was Jeremy. What's his name? None of those were the second sons.
Yeah.
Okay, you came much afterward. All right, when that bitch ass nigga Cromwell came in, and started removing all the black people from Europe, from Scotland and Ireland. All right, that's when you begin to come. You Edomites begin to come back in power, which is a biblical curse. Somebody get that real quick. The whatchamacallit, when the dragon was wounded but yet didn't live.
Well, what that nigga said in the movie? That's all I got. That's all I got.
Okay.
Off his journey.
Right. Let me read one more. Continue reading this while somebody gets that. The Black Douglas. Early traditions link Douglas clan to a swarthy. Douglas literally means black.
Yeah.
All right. Early traditions link the Douglas clan to a swarthy or dark-skinned leader, often cited as Sholto Douglas, who was described as black or swarthy colored, and it's giving you the resources. The Peerage of Scotland. All right. The next bullet point in this place when it talks about the assertion of these real life people that you just seem to wipe from the annals of history because you made all these people. You Google this name, they're gonna show you a white person. But AI is telling you no, they weren't. Okay, and so do the relics. It says, and somebody also get that Psalms 85 and 11. When the earth spring forth truth. See, there was so many relics left throughout Western Asia, throughout Asia and Western Asia. The parts you call Eurasia. There was so many relics left there. You couldn't hide it all. You couldn't destroy them all.
Damn.
All right. It says the Black Moral of Galloway. Local legends of the Southwest Scotland recall a Black Moor, who occupied the forest of Galloway. Black individuals in high status. Evidence exists of African Moors, and they weren't, and even if those Moors did come from Africa, they still were the Israelites.
Yeah.
They weren't actual Africans. The actual Africans had nothing to do with the Moors. All right. It says hiding high status positions such as the court of King James V. All right, and good look, and King James, he was a Moor, but he wasn't from Africa. King James was an Israelite. That's right. Let me read it again. The black individuals in high status. Evidence exists of Africans and Moors holding high status positions such as the court of King James V in the early 16th century, right when the King James Bible was printed. And they'll tell you that King James was a white man and that he was that he was a Mo. And that was a complete lie.
Yeah.
Because the King James Bible condemns Mo activity. It condemns alphabet activity to death, as the Bible says it should. All right?
Yeah.
And King James had multiple wives.
Yeah,
9 children.
Message.
All right?
Yeah.
I don't know of any Mo that has 9 children.
In his book, he specifically spoke to his son.
About
Tell him-
standards.
Yeah, about that.
The witchcraft.
Yeah,
I
about
actually have that book and how to stay away from it. Because then they tried to demonize him with that.
Yep.
They said he was a witch. He wrote a book speaking against witchcraft.
exposing it.
Oh, look, here's evidence. He was. It's like well, did you read the book, nigga?
No.
All right. Just like they pick up the Bible and they don't read it. You were told through Christianism, through racist, made up white Christianism, that
Passed
people
down.
were white and they're not.
Passed
Right? So
down.
once again, the second sons, you're fighting to defend the lie. You're not even white. That's some made up shit. Okay? You're Edomites. So and guess what? If you fight to defend that, I can't even argue with you. I don't know why you want to defend that, but then I understand why you don't want to be Edom, why you rather call yourself white. But it says, why are these facts sometimes disputed or hidden? It says, alternative interpretations of swarthy. Many historians interpret swarthy or black in medieval texts is referring to dark hair, tans, Mediterranean complexion, rather than African descent. Nothing that's racial concept of blackness or broader, but all the words by definition means blackness.
Yeah.
And we just showed you, and it said descriptions of Mediterranean, that they say, they look like olives. We just showed you olives, motherfuckers.
Right.
How stupid can you be? I've never seen a white olive.
Never.
That's a very good statement. Where's the white olives?
Oh, that's a good topic.
Okay? That's a very good title, brother. Where are the white olives at?
Even when you skin them, it's still the same color. A black olive is still black all the way through.
And I personally believe, this is me speaking as a man, I believe King James is King David. But we'll
I agree with you on that. But that's just me
We'll
speaking
find
as a
out.
man. We'll find out. That's not really a point that's relevant to salvation or anything, but it is something that I deeply believe that that's who he was in the regeneration. And the regeneration is very real.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very real.
Was it King James' grandson, King Charles, was called the little black boy.
Little black
King
boy.
Charles II.
King Charles II.
Yeah.
Right.
Never heard of a white man.
And he was beheaded by Oliver Cromwell.
I got a scripture.
All right, and his children and his people were being sent to Jamaica, into the islands,
right.
into Montserrat.
Right.
There's videos of those Irish, those black niggas who had them Irish feet. They look like the fighting Irish guy. They're just dark,
Right.
and they talk like that too.
Okay.
So when we tell you that the Irish were look, Dublin means the city of black.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And matter of fact, and this is another one that Esau really would hate, because one of their favorite Irish men of today will be Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, straight nigga, man.
Oh, yeah.
That dude is not an Edomite. That dude is Jake, man. He's the epitome of that fighting Irish dude.
Yeah. That's him on that. That's him.
Okay.
That picture is him.
That's actually him.
Yeah, that's him, man.
He was.
Put him up.
He
Put him
was
up.
that
Put him
guy.
up.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Saint just texted me. He said, Ben Franklin, this the elder Saint. He said, Ben Franklin specified complexion, which you mentioned earlier.
God. He specified complexion. Hence the reason why they switched out the word swarthy for black. And why you Jakes can't get off that black thing. And I hate that word.
But
I really hate that word, because I know what it means and I know what it hides, and it actually damages us. It doesn't help our people at all. It helps to keep our people in a state of confusion.
But even Jake, we was calling ourselves niggas for how long? And the word nigga only means black.
It means
Yeah,
Nothing, nothing
Well,
more,
it
nothing
goes
less.
back to the word negro. And it basically means swarthy, it means dark complexion.
Right.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Like, where Esau get the word from, y'all? They took it and said it meant something that it didn't mean, but they was really just calling us what we are.
They were just calling us what we were.
Yeah.
All right, and because I have the definition in the phone. It tells you that now it's a vulgar and contemptuous term, but it wasn't always so. It was just a description. You know how Jake would call a dark skinned brother, black.
Yeah.
Yo, what up, black?
What up, black?
Right.
I knew a nigga named Black D.
So, we got a brother that we call Big Black. So that the point being is that it's just a description. It didn't really and the reason they said is because niggas was never taught Swarthy.
Yeah.
I was never taught Swarthy in school. And matter of fact, you have to have a very old dictionary for that to even be in there. All the I started going to school, grade school, in the 70s, high school in the 80s.
Right.
And one of no books from the 70s and 80s with the word Swarthy in it.
Nope.
And I know for damn sure the 90s and the 2000s, they ain't had no books in high school with Swarthy in it.
I ain't seen.
So it's gonna say black, which further dumbs down and confuses the people. And then we start coming along where you're really Swarthy.
Yeah.
What you talking about, nigga? Swarthy.
What that means?
Schwarzer.
Schwarzer.
I got the paragraph 24 of the observations of mankind by Benjamin Franklin.
Matter of fact, do you have 23? You can start halfway in 23 and then go right into 24.
Oh, so I just screenshot it 24.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead, brother.
So paragraph 24 from the observations of the increase of mankind by Benjamin Franklin. Paragraph 24.
Now, taking in mind when the God read earlier, okay, and how these two authors, the author of that book and the author of this letter, all right, how those things coincide. Take in again. If you have to rewind and watch, when the Elder Nagab read out of that book, okay, just take into consideration what he read. Go ahead.
So paragraph 24, it says, which leads me to add one remark, that the number of purely white people is proportionate in the world is proportionately very small.
Which we now know the term whiteness is made up.
Right.
We'll continue.
All Africa is black or tawny.
Mm-hmm.
Asia is chiefly tawny. America, exclusive of the newcomers, wholly so.
And tawny would be, like Elder Karab, Elder Bara, Elder myself, and Elder Arala. That's what you would call tawny, right? Right. My man's over here. My war dog.
Yeah.
They named the man Warren for nothing.
That's right. Hey, that's funny because that's why
Howard names, brother. Howard names.
The Sicilians, they in order to be a made man, you had to be 100% Sicilian. You had that one guy, if you watch the movie Goodfellas,
Yeah.
his name was Carbone. That's the guy that got put in the meat truck. I don't know if you guys saw that, but if you look at the guy, the dude was the blackest one out the crew.
Yeah.
His name was Carbone. He had a fro and everything,
Yeah, he got
Carbone. Yeah, because they were strongly about their people being the made guys, the heads.
Yeah, because they would let you be down with them, but you could only go so far.
Yeah.
You couldn't get made unless you was
100% Sicilian.
right. Because I remember that one. It was one movie where the whole crew and they homie got made and they were celebrating because they was like at least one of us is made.
Yeah.
I think that was
Tommy.
no, that was the one with Ray Loyalty.
Ray Liotta.
Goodfellas.
Yeah, that was that Goodfellas.
That's what I'm using.
With what's my man, little short dude,
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci and
EJ too.
and what was my other man? Robert De Niro. Yeah, I think Robert De Niro, one of his parents was Irish.
Yeah, his
No,
dad.
it was
Was it
it wasn't Robert De Niro. It was
Ray's. Was it Ray?
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta. Yeah.
Yeah,
His father was
because he was down with them. He was in, but he couldn't get made though.
He couldn't get made.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
Rob De
you can
Niro
only do-
character
right,
was
when they would
Irish.
have these meetings, you had to stay out there.
Yeah.
His daddy was Irish.
I think Rob De Niro character was Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, his dad was Irish.
His mother was Sicilian and his father was Irish.
Yeah, they call they used to make a joke because I was in the military. They used to make a joke. These niggas was from the East Coast, and there was a lot of Irish, Italian specimens, right? So they would make a joke. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, you got dirty blood." You know, what I mean, if your father was Irish and your mother was Italian, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, you one of them dirty blood Italians." You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So they used to always talk shit.
Hey, what about what was it, True Romance?
Dennis Hopper.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper. He telling history of Sicily, like spawned from niggas.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He got cut too. He got cut. You can see.
And they had because what was the guy that played the Sicilian?
King of New York.
The guy who played the King of New York,
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken was he's fucking.
He was in that same scene with Dennis Hopper.
He got cut. And they made him darker in that movie to play a Sicilian. He actually had like tan on his face. You know, he said the white. He said the blue eyes turned brown.
Well, if you go Sicily now, you see
And the blonde hair turned.
darkest meat, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna finish this. So it says America exclusively of the newcomers, holy soul, meaning tawny complexion. It says, and in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, and Swedes are generally of what we call a swarthy complexion.
So where's this history?
Russians.
Where is this history?
Russia.
You know, I actually just spoke about some of it when I read the AI breakdown of all those different people in different parts of Europe, referring to the Vikings, the Scots, and the Danes. You know, the British, the Brits, being dark men, black men, so-called black men. All right, continue.
It says, as are the Germans also. The Saxons only accepted who with the English make the principal body of white people on the face of the earth.
And that's that lie Rich Tidwell now trying to say that the white men are the Anglo-Saxons.
Right.
No, the Anglo-Saxons were, you weren't those people. We just told you who they were. All right, the evidence shows you. All right.
Is National Color Line book over there?
It might be.
You weren't the Aryans either.
If you look at the coat of arms, you see nothing but Negroes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The coat. Yeah, the coat. The book, the coat of arms.
Yeah.
Right. I said it right. The book, the coat of arms, are the images that these images came from.
Right.
They came from a book by Donald Fairburns that was written in 1869. All right, and that's where these images came from in the color nature notes and color lines, and it basically shows you all the royal families, all the aristocrats were black people, the real royals of Europe, of Eurasia, okay, were black people, and so that history was completely covered up and hidden. Charles and his family are aftermarket lies. They married into those royal families because all the sons were killed off, and so Charlotte, the wench on the cover, Charlotte, when let herself get seeded up by a white man, and started having brown skinned Edomite children, which quickly disappeared and just became pale, because over the centuries, the Edomites brought their families into this, and now they're the new royals.
Damn.
All right, they're the new royals of Europe now, of Eurasia. All right, but we just gave you physical, tangible, irrefutable evidence.
They made a TV show about
Okay, right there. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elder Malcolm, that I seen an old videotape of Elder Arion. King George was Jake.
Of course, that period.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
From the 4th century all the way up to the fall of Portugal and Spain, Eurasia was ruled by so-called black people.
That's right.
Point blank period.
Yeah,
Right? From the time of the fall of Rome, all those jakes that were the Roman armies and generals, they became the new Roman emperors. They call, they'll try to, they call them the African emperors to try to get away from the fact that they're Israelites. But and they don't even want to talk about that. What do you mean African emperors? Yeah, you had African emperors of Rome, and that led into what you call Europe today. All right, and so those were all black people. Black people are the reason. So-called black people, I hate that word, are the reason for the fall of Rome. Well, really, it was the Lord, but he used them. They played a big role in it, and then they became the new ruling class people. And then when Esau came back, why do you think Esau came so hard against us in slavery? And time he took away our heritage and he took it away from us, didn't let us know who we were. And then he completely and totally whitewashed history.
Not only that, Malcolm, he made the Jim Crow laws because Esau had a record books when the dark age. He know that if he led us to a certain position, we're gonna take over. We're gonna take over and dominate.
Well, I was just at the hospital visiting my sick aunt, my mother's sister. She's the oldest living relative I have left on my mother's side of the family. And I just, and she is not looking too good, but she was in good spirits, and and I just do what I always do. I gave her the truth. So she left, or I left her, and she knows now the true name of the Lord, and she received it. She didn't scoff for anything because she was like, well, damn, these people been lying about everything. Why wouldn't they? Because she didn't know, that the letter J was newly created. Right? And then I explained to her how, our people were ruling, the ruling class people through all of Eurasia. That our people are the ruling class people. We're the real royals. We're the real people of the book.
The Dark Ages.
And I saw the tears and the smile. Yeah, because it was like a tearful joy. It made her feel good. Because I told her, you leave here. I said, you leave here, you come back in the kingdom. Your suffering is over. I said, if I don't make it, if I don't make it back home from this trip, I'll wake up in the kingdom. That said, just knowing that gives me a certain level of joy. That I don't have to go through this again. And and we chopped it up, and I'm gonna keep going back to see her. She's mine. And I had gripes with her and stuff, and she didn't come to my mother's funeral. She didn't come to her own sister's funeral, but she's still mine. She's the last living relative that I have connecting me, to my mom. So and she was just so happy to see me. Man. When I walked in the room, she just lit up, So so I had a nice conversation with my aunt, and I hadn't seen my aunt in a lifetime. Shit. And, really in a lifetime. There's brothers in here that the time that I haven't seen her is older than them. All right, but she recognized me as soon as she saw me. She said, I'm trying to figure out if you look more like your daddy or your mama. I said, and I'm like, well, shit, I look like both of them. I really do. I'm a perfect split of both of them. But it is what it is, man.
That's why this scripture, if I may say, that's why this word is a comforter, bro.
It is a comforter because it comforted her. She needed to hear that. Right? She really needed to hear that. And it actually lifted her spirits. And I could tell it lifted her spirits.
They be seeing shit but not having the answer why these things and can't explain.
Especially when you at the point she at, where you about to cross over, they start seeing stuff. I remember my wife's father would always talk about the people in the corner. Y'all don't see them? Right? And she used to always and he used to always tell he'd be sitting there when I was breaking bread with them and teaching them, and he'd be sitting there. And he'd just be sitting there, and then he was like, everything he said is true. The old ass man. He said everything he said is true. Because guess what? He was actually a bellhop in Hollywood. Oh, and them old when he was one of the bellhops. And he was like, yeah. He said they was doing he was like they was doing some weird things in Hollywood way back then. He knew Rock Hudson was a flame.
Wow.
Here is the heartthrob, the white superiority king, Samson.
Heartthrob.
And it's right, and this dude, and if he was still alive, he'd have been at every Diddy party, all the Vaseline.
Take that.
Right? He'd have been right there with Alizar getting paid. Right?
You been right at the Diddy party.
He'd been right there.
Smell the Diddy. Take this money. Take this.
This is Psalms 83. All right, and this is the real reason why all the nations that really came together and conspired against the nation.
We're gonna finish with this, bro.
All right. It's Psalms 83. I'm gonna start at 1. A song of Asaph. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. Below thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Right? Which is talking about how all these other nations, all right, they came together, all right, to come against the nation of Israel. All right, this is why you had Ham and Ishmael, all right, missionaries for Esau doing the transatlantic slave trade.
So you had a root
They
first
showed,
thing.
right,
The real root.
they showed you that.
The 40th minute into the series,
Right.
the first episode, about the 40th minute, 44th minute, somewhere around there. It shows you Ishmael, Esau, and Ham
Crouching.
coming together to get Jake.
Capture reside in all the coast of Palestine.
That Joel scripture comes right to life. Go ahead, finish, bro.
It says that they have taken crafty counsel. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasharallah," but they say Israel, but I'm gonna say the real name, Yasharallah, be no more in remembrance, because we're not Israelites. We're Yasharallah.
Right.
That's our real.
Bon
You know what I'm saying? We're from the tribe. We Yasharallah. All right, we're not
Yerushalayim. Not Jerusalem, it's
Yerushalayim. So
all right.
So you don't hear nobody talk about Yerushalayim or Yasharallah. All right. Oh, you one of them Yasharallahs? No, you don't hear that. You don't hear our biblical names as being called our biblical names. All right. Since we came out of off them boats, the Southern Kingdom, we just been getting called colors.
All type of shit.
All type of shit.
Like every 30, 40 years, our titles would change.
Yeah.
They even got the Nordic Kingdom title, like Mega Man Game, Latin X.
Yeah. Time.
You know?
That proves the Israelites though.
Yeah.
Proverbs and the Bible.
Yeah. They one of the names it was called by Esau Edom too, going back to the 1700s was forest niggas.
That's crazy.
Ooh, man. They called them forest niggas. I actually was watching a movie and the subtitle was on, and you had a couple of them what was them dudes that painted half their face black. I forget what tribe, the Blackfoot, whoever they were.
Yeah.
But you had a bunch of them hiding in the trees, and it was some hunters out there. And they was like, I saw one, and then one said, "Oh, you see one that's more than the forest niggas."
Right.
And they said it in the head, and there was one right by the tree with a tomahawk 3 feet away from him.
But Malcolm echoes what Ben Franklin said about that taunting. Because in order to be a nigga, you gotta be taunted.
You gotta be taunted.
Right.
Shit, John Redcorn. Look, John Redcorn was dark brown.
Yeah.
Right. Wicked ass nigga.
Right. Yeah. All the adulterous ass. That's Jake. Jake loves to slide on somebody else's woman. Is there more to that,
I'm
brother?
tired of healing you.
Yeah. It says in verse 5, they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, which is Esau, which is the so-called white man today.
The second sons.
And you fucking saying niggas, you Ishmaelites, man.
Yeah.
You damn Arabs, man. Palestinians. All right. It says, and the Hagarenes, the Baal and Amalek, and
because that Mediterranean diet is really our diet.
Yeah.
All right, that's our food. Go ahead, son.
It says the Baal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Ham. It said Assyria also joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot Selah. Right. So all these nations, all right, pretty all of them.
Some haters.
They hated. They had the Judah breakdown. If they sin against their power, we can overtake them. All right, and that's what happened. As they understood, all right, they going off, we can get them.
And look what they got. Not all mad. They hate Esau. They all hate Esau because when you follow them.
Yeah.
But that was prophecy. It had to happen.
Yeah.
You're right, because Esau backstabbed them all. All right, he even matter of fact, Amalek even backstabbed Edom. because Amalek hoarded all the wealth to himself, and he left Edom. What were you saying? The gift of whiteness.
Yeah.
He allowed them to be called white,
Yeah.
and now that means nothing anymore.
White and broke.
Right? While he hoarded all the all the wealth to himself.
Wait a minute.
And now Edom is mad with Amalek. That's why you got, white Christianism attacking Judaism, and then you got rabbis pointing out that no, white Christianism is Edom. That Esau Edom. That Edom Rome.
Yeah.
And then you got the rich Tidwell saying no, the Jewish people.
Yeah.
They're Edom Rome. Well, guess what, sons of the second sons, y'all all Edom.
Yeah.
And that's the message.
All three Spider-Man.
And is it right?
Eastside.
And so it's so basically all of you are coming to your end, man. The Lord is getting ready to do away with all of you. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. It has nothing to do with us. Absolutely nothing. The Lord is going to do this.
Yeah.
White is the new nigger.
Pretty much.
White, I know how they say this, the new black. Orange is the new black. This is the new black. No, you're the new nigger now, nigga. Because you were always the nigger any damn way.
Right. The term nigger in the scripture means stingy.
Yeah. He's a miser. Fucking Grinch. No,
Yeah, especially
not Grinch.
Amalek.
Yeah.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Ebenezer Scrooge. That's what I'm saying.
That's how you get miserable.
Yeah.
You remember the Heat Meister on
Yeah. That nigga was miser. He boy.
Hey, remember, I said when somebody near death, they are miserable, cranky and shit.
Yeah.
And that's Esau. Esau near death extinction, man.
Yeah, that's why what so-called white supremacy is booming right now, because bye Miss American.
Yeah, man.
It's over with, man. That's what Tyson Fury he fucking sung that after he whooped what's his name, man, Anthony Joshua. Hey, the America's done. You Edomites are done. All right, you're finished. All right, and like we always been saying, the majority of the hell and the hell raising is gonna come from you Edomites, and it's gonna be Edomite on Amalek and Edomite versus Edomites.
Yeah,
right?
because you're right. These Edomites are getting ready for a race war, but the reality is they're really getting ready for a civil war to fight against each other.
You're about to
But
fight
let me
against each other,
read this last scripture, man. Because it just sums it all up. This is Job 20 and 20 and 27, and it reads, "The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him."
Right.
And that's exactly what's happening. The earth is rising up against this make-believe thing of whiteness. All right, because people are really seeing that the real problem on the earth are you.
Yeah.
You're the real problem on the earth. And it's an unfortunate thing for you. A lot of your women are seeing it.
Yeah.
Right? Your women are seeing it, and they're trying to, separate you from you, a lot of them. So they're angry, and they're super angry about that.
Yeah,
right.
That's why they're so hurt.
Yeah, they're super angry about
You got Chud.
Yeah, fucking,
right.
Chud is smoked. But look,
Chud,
a lot of your fucking women, they've experienced firsthand the horrors, all right, of being under you Edomites, man.
Yeah.
That's why the majority of them go against the grain. So you can highlight per capita all the fuck you want,
which
that's
is also made up.
That's
statistics
bullshit.
and numbers too.
All right, but when you actually talk to brothers that actually have had experience with Edomite women, have actually went to the suburbs and seen you and y'all are the biggest deadbeat dads. Y'all are the biggest drug addicts. Y'all are the biggest unemployed. Y'all are the biggest fucking pedophiles. Hey, y'all are the biggest recipients of welfare and Section 8. It's you guys, man. All right, you guys are the biggest fucking losers on the goddamn planet, man. All right, and they know it. Some of the youth know it. Your women know it. All right, and now
and they're mad.
coming against you.
And they're mad because they're becoming second-class citizen in the nation that they stole.
Exactly.
They're not first anymore.
You didn't get your piece of the pie.
Yeah, and you do have the right to be mad at them, at the little hats, at the fake ones.
Yeah.
All right, because they did do that to you.
Henry Ford.
All right. So with that, man, we're gonna give all praises, all honor and glory unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash,
Kwam Yasharala,
Kwam Yasharala, Abba Ball.
You used to have a manual. You buy a Ford truck. You used to have a manual. He had two manuals, but I think it was the one.